Hello again, though if this is your first time, welcome to the Canting Club. This month's red is from the Basilicata region of southern Italy. If you think about Italy as a boot, the point of the ankle, that will be Monte Vulture, a giant extinct volcano that's given its name to the surrounding wine region. This wine comes from vineyards on its eastern flanks. It's an Aglianico del Vulture. An Aglianico is the grape variety, regarded as the best black grape of southern Italy. This wine's made by Re Manfredi, one of the 2 or 3 best producers in the region. Aglianico is notoriously long-lived, but fortunately this is a 2012, it's 5 years old, and you can see that in the colour. It's still tremendously deep and intense, but it's this great blood red. There's no hint of youthful purple around the rim. Instead, it's this glorious garnet colour. It looks properly grown up. And it smells grown up too. Well integrated and warm and rich. And very Italian. There's old roses here and lots of dried herbs. Mostly thyme, but tobacco as well. Plenty of oak. It smells like a well-polished wood and leather desk. Even a bit tarry, and again that will be the oak. The fruit here is deep and dark and mostly dried, prunes and figs. And if it's not dried, it's steeped in alcohol, like crème d'amour, that blackberry liqueur. And that's all spiced up with some cloves and white pepper. And a hint of marzipan here too. There's something a bit medicinal here, quite Christmassy and definitely expensive. Oh boy, yep, that's big. Full-bodied wine, this, no question about it. But it's not as heavy as I was expecting from its 14.5% alcohol. And that's largely down to this streak of minty acidity that cleans the palate and cools down the alcoholic warmth. It tastes really savoury. Dark soy sauce and black truffles. And underneath that, the fruits again, like the nose, are dark and dried. Raisins and prunes and bitter cherries too. Again, like the nose, there's something medicinal here, licorice. And then there are the tannins, lots and lots of them. I should have mentioned them at the start. They are, however, beautifully smooth and ripe and fine-grained, so that you taste their bitterness rather more than you have them suckle the saliva from the inside of your mouth, which would normally happen with tannins this big. Instead, they offset rather nicely the inherent sweetness of the alcohol and the dried fruit flavours in this, making the wine taste very dry, really classy. The finish, it's long, it's warm with the alcohol, full of spices, and obviously it's dominated by those uncompromising tannins, but then the juicy acidity that we noticed earlier comes back through and balances those out, with the mouth-watering quality of the acidity offsetting the drying quality of the tannins. Really long-lasting, classy finish there. This wine surprised me. I knew of Aglianico's reputation, fearsome acidity and tannin, and even at 5 years, I thought this wouldn't be ready. But it is, just, if you approach it with food and the right attitude. Yes, I am hard enough. I will have a go. It's not remotely modern or international. This wine is old world and old school, and it couldn't come from anywhere else other than Italy. They call Aglianico the Barolo of the South, and I can see why. This shares all those Nebbiolo traits of roses, tar, dried fruits, high acidity, fearsome tannins. But it's got its own style. This is much herbier and fuller, and deeper and darker fruited. A lot deeper in colour because Nebbiolo is a very pale grape. And coming as it does from an under-the-radar appellation in unfashionable southern Italy, it is an awful lot cheaper. If a wine of this quality and maturity said Barolo on the label, it would cost 2 or 3 times as much. This may not be cheap, but it is a bargain. Cheers!